Hello and welcome to another episode of Suspection.
Yes, today is an Estella-centric episode, and I'm Kyle.
And I'm Isela,
And we're your hosts.
That was the most spaced out face I've ever seen. But you didn't miss your cue. So that was awesome. Oh, you were definitely like, it looked like you weren't here, but you were here because you were on cue. Oh, goodness. Well, this is the second episode of the Nothing is Safe series. I've finally finished writing the series, so it's going to end up being a 3-part series in total. So for part 2, we're talking about pesticides, GMOs, and microplastics.
Yay!
So this one's a little different because it doesn't have a bunch of like litigation to go along with it.
Yeah.
But it does have some science. So depending on whether you are pro-GMO or against, you will find different information. The federally funded sites praise the innovation of GMOs, talking about the use eradicating the need to till the soil, saving it from erosion. Tilling the soil kills helpful microbes and can be harmful over time. So instead of tilling the soil to kill the weeds, which is what the purpose of tilling the soil is, they can use all these herbicides with GMOs, and that's why they're eliminating the need to till the soil.
Tilling the soil is not a bad thing, I don't think. I feel like tilling the soil keeps the soil rich and keeps it, like...
aerated?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, but that's what they say their pro is, and the con of tilling the soil.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that long term that it actually does create long term damage or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't believe that. I think that is a false fake news.
Propaganda.
Yeah.
All right. So GMOs like Roundup Ready corn and soybean are modified to be able to withstand herbicides. So farmers can spray the fields for weeds without worry for the crop. But just as we have antibiotic-resistant bacteria due to overuse of broad-spectrum antibiotics, there are weeds that have become herbicide-resistant, leading to the use of more and more pesticides or herbicides. Pesticides are sprayed again and again on our foods before they ever reach our table.
And that's crazy because they kill pests.
Yes.
And clearly, if that's on our food, gross. Like, I know they tell you to wash your lettuce, but
yes,
as just a general rule, to wash your greens and wash your vegetables after you buy them from the produce store or the grocer. But some people are lazy and aren't going to do that.
Oh, I can tell you for sure because I work with a college. Not at the restaurant. I worked with a college student, and I was like, "Are you washing your produce?" And he was like, "I run water over it." And I'm like, "That's not quite the same thing." So I'll tell you right now, there are people who wipe it on their shirt and call it good.
Yeah. Like an apple, just
all you're doing is like making that wax shine, buddy.
Yeah.
All right. So certain pesticides have been associated with cancer risk and diseases such as Parkinson's and Alzheimer's, which I don't know if you've noticed, but those are on the rise. The numbers have been creeping up, and the more and more we spray on our food, the more those numbers will continue to creep up. Unborn babies are especially vulnerable to birth defects related to pesticides. So the CDC is where I grabbed this next bit of information from, cdc.gov. Pesticides are chemicals used to destroy or control weeds. Those are herbicides. Insects and pests, insecticides. Rodent pests, rodenticides. Or fungi, fungicides. Sorry, fungi. I think is how I should have said that, but I was like, fungi. Pesticides have been linked in human studies with problems like hormonal changes. reduced fertility, miscarriages, birth defects, learning and developmental disabilities in children. And some pesticides may also pass into the breast milk.
I believe that for sure.
So that's all on the CDC. Like that's
The CDC is no joke.
yeah, they're gonna tell you. They're gonna tell you like it is. Which I'm sure is why the government doesn't like them from time to time. But
Yeah.
the CDC is telling you, pesticides are no bueno.
Mm-mm.
They're not good for you. You really need to watch your intake. So, all right. So the poisons that they spray all over everything we come into contact with, that's not the only thing that we need to be vigilant about. And that's where I go into microplastics. So you have tiny bits of pollution. They're found all over the natural environment due to the overuse of plastics, which degrade over time and leach toxic chemicals into the environment and food system. So, how do you think microplastics get into the food?
They're for sure put in there. Like they're put in like cheeses and stuff to like keep the keep a cheese lasting longer, like make its expiration date last longer, or
Okay.
it's in like products that like gum and stuff like that, like
hmm
because you're gonna spit it out, and it also
Yeah, you're not supposed to swallow it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Um.
I mean, I don't know how they get in there or why they're in there, but I know microplastics are in there because like I've seen like microplastics specifically out of I think it was I want to say that it was what was the first thing I mentioned?
Cheese.
Cheeses. I think it was a cheese or something that was like just dissolving and dissolving, but it wouldn't dissolve because it was
Oh.
plastic.
Okay. So yeah, there's
And butter,
they put it.
margarine.
Oh, margarine. Yep. Okay. So micro and nanoplastics are disruptors of the endocrine system. So this is why it's so important that we do something about this.
Mhm.
Um, your endocrine system is what's responsible for your hormones. Um, our hormones are off balance. I'm sure you see all over TikTok and Facebook and Instagram. Like I had to balance my hormones. I started taking whatever they're selling to you, right?
Mhm.
I started taking this to balance my hormones. That's what you keep hearing. Because our hormones are off balance. That's not incorrect. It's true. Our hormones are off balance, but it's because the pathways that they take through our bodies are getting disrupted. They're getting blocked by the microplastics. Microplastics are not just hurting humans, they have caused similar harm to animal and plant life. So, what they do,
My plants. They're messing with my plants now.
yes, that is what I thought was really interesting. So, have I read that part yet? No. So, what is happening? I maybe didn't write this down. I probably didn't write it down at all. Nope. All right. If you think about what fish food looks like,
Mhm.
okay, then you think about the fish that are in the ocean. Tiny bits and particles of plastic are litter, our garbage, our
Yep.
whatever that's floating around looks like fish food. It looks like little tiny whatever bugs that have gotten in the water or whatever. So the fish are eating it. Okay? The fish are eating it, so it's in the fish. That's the fastest one I can describe that it gets in there. Okay, the second thing is I said plants, and this is what's crazy is it is actually disrupting photosynthesis. The plastic is not fully breaking down into the soil. They go to suck up whatever water and soak in the sun to create their chlorophyll, but it's disrupting the photosynthesis somewhere in there. So the plants aren't as green as they should be or as full of the nutrients that they're supposed to be carrying because their processes are getting disrupted the same as ours. Our processes that are getting disrupted. Did I write that down? Did not write it down. Okay, so if you think about your hormones, you have in the middle of your brain, you have your hypothalamus.
Keep an eye on your mic.
Okay.
Just because I only plugged them in like not too long ago.
Oh, okay. So you have your hypothalamus in the middle of your brain, and that sends a signal to different areas of your body that produce certain hormones, and it tells what hormones to produce. So it's sending signals to your thyroid. It's sending signals to your pancreas, which produces insulin, which is a hormone that helps break down glucose.
Yeah.
It's also sending messages that are getting blocked to your gonads to produce, testosterone or estrogen.
Mm-hmm.
And there have been studies that the testosterone and estrogen in people is lessening. It's not being created the way that it should. And there's higher infertility because of that. So it's making it difficult for us to reproduce the same way it's doing to animals.
Yeah.
And also plants.
Yeah.
All right. The UN was supposed to vote on plastic production to cap it, like to quit producing new plastic. The reason for that is there's so much plastic out there that's not being recycled. We try. We put things where they're supposed to go. We recycle. Most of us, especially millennials, are recycling because it was drilled in our brains at school to recycle. So a lot of us are recycling, but nothing's actually happening with that stuff that we're recycling. They're not recycling it.
No.
They're not turning it back
We
into
do
product.
the work for it to just get thrown into a landfill.
Yeah, pretty much. And so what the UN was hoping to kind of fix that is if we stop producing new plastic, they have to then recycle what's already out there if they want to continue using plastic.
Yeah.
So it's either recycle, that's great, or find a different method. Go back to using paper bags. Go back, glass. Those things are less harmful to the environment. They're reusable. A lot of these plastic things that we use are not reusable.
Right.
So that's another problem.
Like you can't microwave a plastic bowl.
Right.
You can't.
Because that'll put those chemicals right into your food.
The water bottles, you shouldn't refill them.
Right.
Like those just Crystal Glen. What? Not Crystal Glen.
Geyser.
Crystal Geyser. That's what it is. Yeah, those ones. Like you're not supposed to refill those bottles.
Right. They're all single use, and that's terrible.
Oh my God! Did you? Never mind.
What? Go ahead.
I was gonna say, did you hear about the? Okay, so you know about the island made of garbage that's actually made of plastic and everything?
Yeah.
Did you hear of that political figure that said, "Oh, you mean, what did he say? You mean Puerto Rico? Or maybe it was Venezuela. Whatever one's an island."
Puerto Rico's an island.
Okay. Yeah, he said that and pissed a lot of people off.
Well, yeah.
Because it was like, no, bitch, we're talking about the actual island that's made of garbage that you could live on if you wanted to because it's that big.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Who said that?
I can find out.
I would say I'm Puerto Rican. That makes me mad.
Yeah, I know. That's why I wanted to mention it to you.
Okay, so they were supposed to vote on this plastic production cap last August. So August of 2025. But no formal vote was actually held due to treaty negotiations relying strictly on consensus, requiring a unanimous agreement. So instead, they found themselves in deadlocks, and collapses occurred due to oil producing countries. Because where does plastic come from? Oil. It's one of the products of oil.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy. I did not know that.
Yeah. Yeah.
How?
So crude oil in itself is broken down into several types of products. You get your tire rubber from oil.
Really?
Yes. And then you have gasoline that's a product of oil. You have just oil that's oil. And then you have plastic comes from oil. Petroleum.
I didn't know those things.
That stuff that they put in lotions and stuff, that's from crude oil. Petroleum, it's horrible for you. It's really bad for you.
My stuff has hyaluronic acid in it. I know that, so I'm good. I don't use
so you could switch to glycerin, but that comes from animal fats. So if you're trying to be vegan, that doesn't work great. So you really just gotta kind of like fumble through it, and figure out what works for you and your lifestyle.
I use Nivea cream.
Okay.
I don't know what's in it, but I like it.
I don't know. I'd have to look at the ingredient label to let you know what's in it. Okay. So because those oil producing countries didn't want to lose money, because that's one of their products that they output and export, negotiations fell through. So there was no cap put on plastic production. That's why. Because of greed. It's always because of greed.
It is always. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so what else do we need to do? We need to avoid pesticide exposure by washing your produce. Is one really big one. You can buy organic because it's not going to have your pesticides. It's not going to have your GMOs, which is really important because you have big companies out there. Sorry, this is another piece, but this is important. You have really big companies out there that own the rights to living things. They own the seeds to specific soybean plant, to a specific corn. And if a farmer is using their seeds, they're not allowed to save those seeds. They have to buy new seed again the next year because they own that life and you cannot recycle your seeds. It's a really big company. I don't know if you know the name. I'm afraid to say it, but I'm going to say it. Monsanto. They own the rights
That's
to
bullshit.
soybean and corn. Yep. And I don't know if you noticed when you go to the store, there's a lot of things you can buy that are seedless. Seedless oranges, seedless watermelons, seedless whatever. Stop buying seedless because eventually there will be no more seeds and somebody will own the right to that particular piece of produce, that plant.
Right.
And you're not only not going to be able to grow stuff yourself in your own garden because you can't get the seeds, they're going to own it. And if they decide to cut off supply because they want to control you because you're starving, they can do that.
Right.
So that's another big thing is not to buy seedless. Start buying seeds, saving your seeds, start growing some stuff. It'll be good for you. It'll be good for the plants because you're not going to put plastic in their water.
Right.
But also, when it comes to washing your produce, rinsing them under water is not necessarily the best option. You need the water to be running first off. If you're going to rinse it underwater, it needs to be running water to wash your produce. Also, there are produce washes that you can buy or make. On Google, there are recipes for baking soda washes, vinegar washes. I personally don't like the vinegar washes because it makes berries taste weird. But baking soda washes are great. Kills the little bugs or anything. So if you buy organic or grow it yourself, you still need to wash it because there's dirt and other things on it. So just make it a habit of washing your produce before you eat it.
Right.
Let's see. Yeah, farmers markets are another great place to find your food. All right, then just one last tidbit about GMOs, just because I think it's interesting to know, but GMOs must be labeled in 64 countries, allowing for people to make informed purchasing decisions on if they want to support that type of farming. However, the United States, Canada, Argentina, and most of continental Africa do not require the label.
That's insane.
Yeah. You would think it'd be more like third world countries that wouldn't care like if it was labeled, but no, I mean there are third world countries that it's labeled and it's not labeled here, and it's not labeled in Canada. It's like you would think it would be, but it does not have to follow the letter of the law. It doesn't have to be labeled in the U.S. So
that's crazy.
It makes it more difficult, to make your opinion known by what you're buying because it's not labeled. It's not something that's labeled. So, but yeah, that one's probably not a very long episode, but Yeah, there's just not a whole lot of information on that. Like I said, it causes illnesses, so that's one major reason to just wash your produce and, watch what pesticides and herbicides you're using in your own home.
Yeah.
Wear the proper protective equipment, PPE. Wear your PPE. Wear gloves if you're using a herbicide or an insecticide on the outsides of your house.
Yeah.
Whenever you're gardening or doing anything of that nature, wear a respirator, especially so that you're not breathing that in.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all I really have to say, I guess. Um, Remember, we record every week and post on Thursdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So remember to trust no one and
Question
question
everything.
everything.
Yeah, and if you want to send us if you want to send us your stories, we would love to have them. Like anything, campfire stories, cryptid stories, like dark history stories, conspiracy theories, glitch in the matrix. I will take it all. You can send your stories to suspectionpod@outlook.com. Again, if you want to send us your stories, it's suspectionpod@outlook.com, and then we also have an Instagram.
Yes, our Instagram is at SuspectionPod. In the bio, you can find links for our Amazon Music, YouTube, and Spotify. Um, Also, you can message us on there, and please send your friends to our page.
Yeah, please.
Bye bye.
Thank you so much. Bye bye.